We inaugurated our Alumni Impact Award about a decade ago for two purposes. First, we want to acknowledge and recognize some of our most accomplished alums. Secondly, we want our new graduates to understand that they're joining a long line of Allen School alums who've built on their UW education to go out and do amazing things. So it's my privilege with Hank to present two such people to you today. Our first honoree is Yaw Anokwa. Yaw, could I ask you to join me and Hank on stage? So Yaw was born in Ghana. When he was 10 years old, his father moved the family to Indianapolis, which must have been kind of startling and not necessarily in a positive way. He majored in computer science and double-E at Butler University and arrived at UW as a graduate student in 2005, where he fell under the spell of the late Gaetano Borriello, a pioneer in the field of information and communication technologies for development. Yaw finished his master's degree and then spent 6 months in Rwanda working with a group called Partners in Health to develop an electronic alternative to paper medical records to improve the care of patients with chronic diseases such as AIDS and tuberculosis. Returning to UW, Yaw joined Gaetano and two fellow graduate students to develop Open Data Kit, ODK. ODK is an open source toolkit for building data collection applications on smartphones, which are ubiquitous in the developing world, and uploading the data to the cloud for analysis. ODK has become the standard, bar none, for data collection in the developing world. ODK has been used by the Grameen Foundation to provide agricultural advice to farmers in Uganda. It's been used by AMPATH in Kenya for clinical decision support. It's been used by the Jane Goodall Institute to track conservation efforts in Tanzania, by the Carter Center to observe electoral processes in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, by the Gates Foundation to collect data related to family planning across Africa. Yaw completed his Ph.D. 6 years ago, and with another of Gaetano's students, co-founded Nafundi, a company that supports the growth and success of ODK. Open source community efforts require coordination or they fall apart, and that's one of Nafundi's efforts. It also provides consulting services to governments and non-governmental organizations trying to use ODK in data collection. These days, Yaw's partner in leading Nafundi is his partner in life, our bachelor's alum, Eileen Martin, who some of you may have had as your teacher in CSE 142 and 143 at the start of your careers. Yaw has received many honors for his work, including the 2010 Antonio Pizzigatti Prize for Software in the Public Interest, the 2011 University of Washington Graduate School Medal, which recognizes scholar citizens, and the 2015 UW College of Engineering Diamond Award for Distinguished Service. Yaw, thank you for honoring us by allowing us to honor you today with the Paul G. Allen School Alumni Impact Award. Our second honoree this evening is Eileen Bjorkman. Eileen, would you please join me and Hank on stage? We're honoring two people tonight who have used their Allen School degrees in unusual and inspiring ways. Eileen arrived at the University of Washington intending to study aeronautical engineering. It made sense. Her father spent 20 years in the Air Force as a pilot and an engineer. Her mother was a private pilot, and the family owned a Beechcraft Bonanza. In her sophomore year, Eileen took an engineering statics course and introductory computer science, and that was the end of aeronautical engineering, at least for a period of time. Eileen received her bachelor's degree from us in 1979. After several years as a programmer in a UW radiation oncology lab, Eileen decided it was time for a change. She headed to the UW Placement Center to meet with a recruiter from Boeing, but while she was waiting, she struck up a conversation with an Air Force recruiter, and pretty soon she had enlisted. The Air Force sent her off to the Air Force's Accelerated Engineering Program to get a second bachelor's degree from the Air Force Institute of Technology in Aeronautical Engineering, so it came back to haunt her. In 1985, she became only the 6th woman ever to have enrolled in the Air Force Test Pilot School. Eventually, she amassed over 700 hours of flight in 25 different aircraft as a flight test engineer, instructor, and test squadron commander. Back on the ground, she returned to her computer science roots when, on her first assignment in the Pentagon, she was put in charge of air-to-air combat modeling. She later led the testing of high-speed missile delivery systems and new ejection seat designs. Then she assumed command of the squadron responsible for testing GPS satellites and equipment. Along the way, she earned 2 master's degrees in aeronautical engineering and national resource strategy, and a doctoral degree in systems engineering. She retired from active duty as a colonel and now serves in the civilian capacity, where she oversees the 5-year, $605 billion Future Years Defense Program. An amazing career, an amazing person. Eileen, thank you, like Yaw, for showing us where an Allen School education can lead.